Story number one. I came to the Philippines as a foreigner, looking for adventure and a new start. And that's exactly what I found when I met my Filipina girlfriend. She was sweet from the start, always smiling and laughing. But as our relationship progressed, I began to see a darker side to her. She became possessive and over jealous, always questioning my every move and accusing me of cheating. She would even hit me when she was angry, leaving bruises on my arms and face. But I love her, and I thought things would get better. However, her toxic behavior only escalated. Her parents and siblings were parasitic social climbers, always asking for money and expecting me to support them. They were lazy and never worked, relying on me for everything. One day, my girlfriend asked me for a large sum of money so her young brother could join a multi level marketing scheme. I refused, knowing it was a scam. That's when everything went downhill. My girlfriend became even more violent and abusive, and her family turned against me. They spread rumors about me and threatened me with violence. I knew I had to end the relationship, but I was afraid of what would happen. One night, I woke to find my girlfriend standing over me with a knife. She was screaming and crying, demanding that I give her the money. I managed to escape and called the police, but it was too late. Her brother had already joined the scheme and lost everything, leading to even more chaos and violence. I learned my lesson the hard way. I thought I had found love in the Philippines, but instead, I found a living nightmare. Story number two. During my early 20s, I met a girl who I considered back then, in a very cliche, girl of my dreams. I was selling subscription for pagers during those days when I met her in a pizza place where she worked as a server. It was love at first sight when she approached me and took my order. Fast forward, ordered her for 2 months and eventually became her first boyfriend. Oh boy, I felt that I was the most luckiest man alive. I consider the early months of our relationship as perfect for most standards until I visited her province or hometown and met her family. Her parents and her younger siblings were overly religious and belonged to a religious sect, which technically can be considered as a cult. They believe in as what I personally describe as an orthodox or a Christian sect with borderline extreme practices. The parents were very strict with their children's life choices. They saw me as an outsider and wanted me to convert to their religion so I can adjust to what they called, quote unquote, real values as demanded by God, and most especially, marry their daughter as soon as possible. Even though I loved their daughter that time, I'm not financially equipped back then to start a family, and given also that we haven't even reached our anniversary yet as a couple. Aside from their beliefs, there were a couple of red flags also, like her parents mostly relied on their daughter's earnings for household expenses and to pay as described by them as quote unquote spiritual tax for their church. At first, I tried to ignore their requests and hope that they would eventually accept me. But the second time I visited them, as per demand of my girlfriend, they became more aggressive and threatened me with dire consequences if I denied them, since I've already, quote unquote, touched their daughter. It's like I was in an interrogation room of a law enforcement office, surrounded by her parents, siblings, and some sketchy neighbors. I felt trapped and scared. I didn't know what to do. I loved my girlfriend that time, but I couldn't imagine living a life under their conventional rules and beliefs. But I somehow respected their beliefs. But I knew my rights, since I'm not morally or even legally obliged to comply with their demands. I tried to reason with them, but they didn't listen. One night, while sleeping inside their guest room, I woke up to find my girlfriend's family and two men, which I presume were fellow members of their church, standing around my bed. They were chanting in a language I didn't understand while holding strange objects. The thing that popped in my mind is to immediately get my stuff and get out of the house. But they hold me and drag me and eventually brought me to their basement, which served as a makeshift prayer room due to some lighted candles and religious and cult like items embedded on the walls of the room. There, they held a ceremony to force me to convert to their religion, and what I assumed back then, I will eventually be forced to marry their daughter. I was terrified and felt like I had no choice. But as they left the room, which I assumed back then is to prepare some stuff for the ceremony and invite some neighbors to witness my allegiance to my girlfriend's family and church. I suddenly felt a strange energy and power surging through me. I managed to break free, sneak, and ran out of the house. I never looked back and never saw my girlfriend or her family again. I supposed to tell the authorities what happened to me, but a friend of mine, who is fond of weird and dark stuff, warned me that they know this religious group, and the connections and some members of this group can be compared to or what he described as quote unquote the Illuminati, like powerful, intelligent, famous and rich individuals who we didn't expect to be members of this irrational and nutcase religious group. I still didn't take the risk and just let time pass by. I eventually left my apartment, changed my career, and stayed with my parents for a while so I would not be tracked down by my ex girlfriend and the rest of her crazy family. To this day, I wonder what would have happened if I had stayed. Would I have been brainwashed and forced to live a life I didn't want? I'm grateful for that surge of power that gave me the strength to escape. Maybe a higher power helped me? Nevertheless, and with all due respect, I don't subscribe to any fan clubs of God and other deities.